If you're taking a probiotic right now, there's a good chance it's doing nothing, and it's not your fault. The industry designs products to sell, not to work. I'm Dr. Bulsiewicz, gastroenterologist, New York Times bestselling author, and the founder of 38 Terra. And today, I'm going to tell you the truth about probiotics that most companies would never say out loud. For the first 10 years of my career as a gastroenterologist, I prescribed probiotics the way I was taught in medical school, generically, without strain specificity, without proper dosing, and honestly, most of my patients saw zero results. Then, I dove into the actual research, and what I found made me very angry. The probiotic industry is worth $50 billion, and 90% of it is based on giving you the wrong strain for the wrong problem at the wrong dose. It's designed to keep you buying, not to actually fix your gut. When I changed my approach in practice, my patient outcomes completely transformed. And in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what I learned. The 3 massive mistakes everyone makes when probiotics actually work, the things that you can do instead of probiotics that are less expensive. And if you're going to use them, I'm going to give you the exact protocol that actually delivers results from my clinical experience. This information could save you thousands of dollars. Here's the biggest lie in the probiotic industry: that any probiotic is good for gut health. That's like saying any medicine is good for the body. That's meaningless. Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG, it helps prevent antibiotic-associated diarrhea. Bifidobacterium infantis, it improves the symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation. And remember, not all probiotics are bacteria. Some are beneficial yeasts. Like, for example, Saccharomyces boulardii is one of the best studied options for acute diarrhea, while Saccharomyces cerevisiae plays a very different role. It's supporting gut barrier integrity. It's calming low-grade inflammation, and it's improving digestive symptoms like bloating and abdominal discomfort. Here's the key: different organisms, different functions, different results. Go look at the probiotic you bought. I bet it says digestive health or immune support with a random blend of 10 strains. That's marketing. That's not medicine. And it's honestly probably doing nothing. First things first, you should prioritize probiotic strains that have been proven in human clinical trials, and you should use the exact dose that was shown to work in those trials. That's evidence-based medicine. Choosing a probiotic that hasn't been tested in humans should be rare, the exception, not the norm. Because if it's never been shown to work in people, why would we expect it to work for you? If you're dealing with a strain where the clinical dose isn't clear, and that does happen, chances are you're going to go to your local drugstore and you're going to grab whatever the attractive thing is off the shelf. And I'm warning you right now, you're probably not getting enough microbes. That's when you follow the general guideline. You should aim for 10 billion CFUs or more, because most meaningful studies use somewhere between 10 and 100 billion. Meanwhile, most drugstore probiotics contain only a pathetic 1 to 5 billion CFUs. Look, it's cheaper to make, and it looks good on the label, but it's subtherapeutic. You're taking a dose that was never shown to work, and then you're wondering why nothing changes. And here's the kicker: CFU counts, they drop over time. That bottle that's been sitting in the cabinet for 6 months, it may have started at 10 billion, but today, it's probably closer to 2 billion. And at that point, you're basically taking an expensive placebo. The third mistake is about timing and duration. Most probiotics work best on an empty stomach, 30 minutes before a meal, before you've had anything to eat. You're probably taking yours with breakfast because, look, that's when you remember. That's when we take a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, you've already reduced the effectiveness by 30 to 50%. And the duration, that 30-day bottle that you bought, the truth is, most studies show that you actually need 8 to 12 weeks to really see the results. So you take it for 30 days and then you quit after one bottle and you think, probiotics don't work for me. But it's entirely possible that you just quit too early. So let's talk about when probiotics actually work. Because look, I'm not anti-probiotic. During my 20 years in clinical practice, I eventually learned to prescribe them for specific conditions with specific strains. Here's when they actually work based on solid research. Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG and Saccharomyces boulardii can reduce antibiotic-associated diarrhea by up to 60%. This is solid research. This actually works. And Saccharomyces boulardii specifically, not other probiotics, can shorten acute diarrhea by 24 to 30 hours. It's one of the strongest probiotic effects. Now here's another thing I want to talk to you about. Not all beneficial Saccharomyces species do the same thing. So this Saccharomyces family, they're a group of yeasts, good yeasts, they're good for us. But Saccharomyces cerevisiae isn't used for acute diarrhea like its cousin is. Instead, Saccharomyces cerevisiae, it supports gut barrier integrity, it calms low-grade inflammation, and it's been shown in clinical studies to help to reduce bloating, abdominal discomfort, and digestive distress. They may come from the same family name, but they're not the same. They don't have the same effect. If you had IBS with constipation, we have Bifidobacterium infantis. If you had IBS with diarrhea, there's VSL number 3, or there's other specific lactobacillus strains. These are not generic digestive health blends. These are specific strains for specific subtypes at the specific doses proven in humans. Have you noticed the pattern? Specific strain, specific condition, specific dose. Here's what the probiotic industry really doesn't want me to say to you. For most people, you should start with fermented food. It may work, and they cost at least 75% less. Kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, yogurt, pickles, the real ones, not the vinegar ones, the real ones. These contain trillions of bacteria, not billions. Trillions. They're alive, they're diverse. This is an ecosystem. Not to mention that these ferments, they come with prebiotic fiber. They come with other bioactives. There's so much goodness in there. And you could take a $3 head of cabbage and you could make multiple jars of sauerkraut. Now think about how cost effective that is compared to the $40 or more supplement that you've been buying. Research shows fermented foods improve gut microbiome diversity and reduce inflammation in a matter of weeks. And here's the thing nobody in the probiotic industry wants you to understand. You already have trillions of bacteria in your gut, and you don't necessarily need to add more. You need to feed them. Prebiotic fiber that comes from plant-based foods feeds your existing bacteria. Imagine that you had a factory. You could import more workers. That's really expensive. Or you could feed, empower, and energize your current team. And when they get strong, they're gonna go to work and they're gonna do their job way more effectively, way cheaper, by the way, than importing those workers. And all those imported workers that you just brought in, guess what? They need to eat too. So the point is, it just makes sense. Feed your microbes. The American Gut Project, where they studied more than 10,000 people. You know what they found that predicted gut health better than anything else? Eating 30 different plant-based foods per week. Variety was the key. And this is what the research has shown consistently. Food should come first. Supplements should come second. And when it comes to supplements, let's get smart with our choices and align with brands that serve you products that actually do something. You need to find brands that you can trust, that are offering you products that are clinically informed, that are formulated by an actual doctor, that use premium ingredients, and are radically committed to transparency and safety. Let's stop cutting corners and let's hold people accountable to higher standards. I've had thousands of patients who have benefited from probiotics, but you have to be smart in your approach. So here's the protocol I developed from years of clinical experience and what I've found that works. Step 1, match the strain to the condition. Don't buy digestive health or immune support. Buy the research strain for your specific problem or health goal. Step 2, check the numbers. The dose should match the clinical trial. If not, a minimum of 10 billion CFUs, verified by a third party. Ideally, look for NSF certification because those are the highest standards in supplements for cleanliness and purity. Take your probiotics on an empty stomach 30 minutes before a meal. And step 3, commit to the timeline. Minimum of 8 weeks. If you're not willing to do 8 weeks, save your money. 1 month will not tell you what you need to know. Set a calendar reminder for 8 weeks and then reassess. Which leads me to step 4. How do you feel? That's the question. How do you feel? Because if you feel the difference, as long as the money makes sense, you should stick with it. And if you're not feeling the difference, then honestly, it's time to move on. Here's my bottom line after 20 years in clinical practice. The probiotic industry has convinced you that you need what they're marketing. And most of the time, you don't. Let me be completely transparent. I own a gut health company. I believe in probiotics when they're used the right way for the right person with the right strain. I've seen them work if you're actually following the process that I've laid out here today. But even with that said, I will tell you this. For most people, fermented foods and 30 different plants per week are the place to start. Food first, supplements second, and only the right supplements for the right reasons. And everything that we're discussing today, you will find in my brand new book, broken down in much more detail. My book is called Plant Powered Plus, and it gives you the complete system, including what to eat. It talks about fermented foods, but also the supplement stacks that I recommend. Even if you've never read the book, I want you to hear this. You can't out-supplement a bad diet. Work on your diet first, and then complement it with the right supplements to optimize and achieve your health goals. If you found this video to be helpful today, consider subscribing to my channel for more science-backed health tools and information, and give this video a like, which helps it to reach more people who can benefit as well. I'm Dr. B, and I'll see you in the next video.